Good morning, y'all. W.K.D Dykes here with W.K.D Construction, and welcome to my channel. On today's video, we got a little something different. You've not seen me do much remodeling at all. Mostly it's just all been new construction. We had a little job that a good friend of mine wanted me to get to, and we kind of snuck him in on the side, and it wasn't really extensive. It's just kind of what I'm gonna call as a facelift. So we were able to get this thing done, and something very, very cool and close to my heart is we worked with a designer, but the designer was my daughter Lydia. My daughter's going to school in ETSU, which is in East Tennessee State University. She is going to be an interior architect, which I know that's mainly on the inside, but she has been going through the whole process and learning how to build up full set of drawings and plans and details and everything that goes into it. So she is having to design some of the outside stuff. So Mr. Stephen Vick, that owns the building in town, contacted her and asked her if she would design this for her, because he was actually her volleyball coach. So she accepted, drew it up, and was able to design this thing. And man, let me tell you what, it really gave the whole block of these buildings a facelift. This is definitely not a high-end situation. We have a budget to stick to, and you know what I mean. We can't go above and beyond like I normally do on all my custom home stuff. But that's where I got my start. I definitely did start from the absolute least you could do. I think the first job I ever did was put in a screen door for somebody when I started my business. So I have done every aspect in the building trades besides HVAC. I've never done, like put in a unit or nothing, but as far as every single aspect from a building, from a remodeling perspective to new construction, I have done it. So that is definitely, if you're coming up in the trades or whatever you're getting into, maybe you're wanting to be in business for yourself, remodeling, dude, it is a great way to start and figure out and try to hone all of your skills, because man, you got to go behind a lot of people's stuff that have no idea what in the hell they were doing, and you ask yourself, why did they do that? But anyway, it is a very good learning curve to start out small and just work your way up. That's just like with anything. I think you put in the hard work you just got to learn every aspect of everything, how everything works, how everything flows together. So that's where I got my start, was, I mean, at the very, very bare minimum, and I've just worked myself up to where I can build up to $5 million homes. So I think once you start at the bottom, you're sharper as a builder as a whole, because you know what to look for, you know what to anticipate, what everything is involved in the process. You're not just worried about right here, you're not just worried about that one job. You're worried about the whole job. And I think, like I said, I just think it makes you a sharper builder. I am very blessed to be able to do what I get to do every day. It's just, I just love it. So let's go. Let me quit talking and we'll get to building. All right, y'all, we are here in the big metropolis city of my hometown of Big Sandy, Tennessee, and there's nothing big about it. But I've got a buddy, Stephen Vick of Vick Insurance, has bought this insurance building, and he's moving his office, like a satellite office, down here to Big Sandy, and we're gonna give it a facelift. So this is kind of close to my heart right here, because my daughter is going to school in East Tennessee at ETSU to be an interior architect. So hopefully one day we are going to work together permanently, but today we are working together. So she has designed the front of this building to give it a facelift, and I'm fortunate enough to be able to do that. So that is awesome, man. I am super excited. It makes Dad feel good, you know what I mean? But that's what we're getting ready to do. We're going to give this a facelift. We're going to put some new shingles on it. We're going to do a little beam action, some Western rough sawn cedar, some new soffit. Just kind of clean it up. Nothing too extravagant, but it definitely needs something, because it was built back probably in the 60s, maybe 50s. Definitely has that stone, you know, that old stone on the front of it. So they're gonna do a little whitewashing and do a little here and a little this and then a little that. So I'm excited. We're gonna get with it. Well, my daughter uses SketchUp at school, so this is kind of what she has designed. So we're gonna wrap the thing with beams. Like I said, they're gonna do a little whitewashing on the stone, put some new soffit on it, new shingles, and just dress it up. So we got to get to it. So we are in demo mode. We got to take all the soffit, shingles off. We got a prep to do a little electrical. I got the electrician here. He's gonna move some can lights. And then I got to run to Paris, get some black flashing, a few things, and so we can get this roof ready and prepped. All right, so we're having to take the face off because it is crooked. I guess they didn't use a string whenever they built the awning. And we can't leave it, so we're gonna take the fascia off, cut the tails, make it straight, and then we'll put the fascia back on there, and then we'll be ready to install the beam. I've got to rip this beam down, and I got to be pretty consistent with the rip. You can't use a table saw because the beam's too heavy. Use this. This is a little framing square dog or framing square clamp, whatever you want to call it. I just put this on my skill saw. So now I've got a guide that I can run down if I put it on right. I didn't put it on right, put it on the wrong side. Yo, look at that guy over there. You. We've got the fascia remounted, straightened it up, and we've got the 4x6 is what we're going to use as a fascia out front, and we notched it. That way we can kind of back set it a little bit, because I'm trying to get the top of the corner edge of my 4x6 flush with the top of the roof. That way the shingle and water, everything comes over the top of the beam, and we'll use it as a fascia, but it's going to look like a structural timber too. So we've got it notched out. I mitered this outside corner, and we'll wrap it. We'll bring the beam on this side, flash it, and then we'll do some soffit, kind of inset some soffit right there to kind of finish that corner off right there. We'll do it vertical. We're not going to do it, we won't do it horizontal or on the angle like they had it.
Alright, so if you've seen these screws, they are the 6-inch, they're the rafter truss screws. I use these for trusses, but they're 6 inches long, made by Simpson. They work really well. It's kind of a small-headed screw. We'll go back and paint them black or something, brown, just kind of hide them a little better. But we are now going to, we've got a little offset on top of that, so we're going to take a 2x, rip it down. That way we can nail a drip edge to it. And then of course we will set a post on that corner and a post over on this corner. We're going to use the Simpson accent brackets with the accent bolts and all good stuff. So we'll get with it here in a second. We are fixing to install the post, and we're going to anchor them to the concrete with the Simpson accent brackets. Little FYI, I did not realize is that if you get the accents, you can get these for rough sawn or you can get them for treated posts, because there is a difference. Rough sawn is a true dimensional lumber. So a 6-inch, a 6x6 post on rough sawn is 6 inches by 6 inches. A treated is 5.5 by 5.5. So if you're using rough sawn, make sure you get the rough sawn for the rough sawn. Help you out. I didn't know. Just letting you know. Matt, let me get a 2x and then we'll kind of jack it up a little bit. Oh, another inch and a half. Go. One more time. He's so serious.
So serious. Don't breathe.
My Spectra Laser LT52G for the win. For the win. Lasering up the corner to the very corner of the beam up there, finding our outside corner on our post, and then they'll just use that little piece of 6x6 just to kind of get where it needs to go, drill a hole, anchor the post, anchor the bracket, and then we'll be ready to set.
Yeah. Bam! Oh.
Oh, back at it, day 2. We've got I've got to put beams on the roof. I've never done that. So I was trying to figure up a way to kind of do that, to keep it waterproof. We got to do step flashing. So I don't know, this is kind of this may not be the way you absolutely need to do it. This is the way I'm just kind of thinking about it as I go. So hopefully, I think this will work. Like I said, I've never done this. I'm not in this situation ever before, so I'm trying to think about the best waterproofing option here. So that's kind of what I do. I didn't really sleep really good last night, trying to think about it. Trying to think about it all night. Alright, I'll tell you a little bit what I got going on. I got the zip system peeling stick underneath the beam. That way any nails or any penetrations will seal around the nail and won't get down into the decking. I bent a little piece of flashing to go underneath the pan. That way, if any water ever did get into there, hopefully, you know, or leak down that bolt, that screw, that it'll get onto that tray and go out the bottom. I just used the 6-inch, the Simpson screw heads, the trim head screws, or the rafter type screws, to fasten all the way down through the top. So like I said, the zip system peeling stick should seal around the threads of that when it penetrates through the roof decking, and we shouldn't have an issue. I cut a kerf into the side right here. So now we butt our shingles. I will run my step flashing up to that kerf, and then later on, after all the shingles are on, we'll come back. I'll bend a piece of trim metal in black that goes into that kerf and down over the top of the step flashing, creating a waterproof joint, you know, a butt edge, just like you would against a wall. So I just used the wood. I was going to try to shim it up, and then it got to be too much of a big deal. So this is my my scenario, and I think it'll work. It should be doing. It should hold up. Like I said, first time I've ever done this. I hate remodeling. Remodeling sucks. That's why I build all new houses. I took this on just because I got a chance to work with my daughter and Mr. Vick. He's a good guy. So we snuck this in there. But you learn from what you do. You know what I mean? You don't do I don't do the same thing twice ever usually. So this is something new, and so there we go. Before we finish this side, I want to put a little Z flashing over here. So that's what I'm about to make. Do about a 3/4 back and then up the wall. That way water comes down the siding, hits the flash, and gets over the top of everything. I'll show you how to bend some up, and always use a hem on the bottom of your metal. Don't ever just do a naked cut edge on there. Always hem it. Makes it a lot tighter, a lot better looking. So if your brake has jaws, it is meant to put a hem on your metal. See, now it's a lot cleaner. Pitch it just slightly. So there we go. Nice little piece of Z flashing. See what I mean when you hem it? It's got a nice clean edge versus having just a cut edge down. This will kind of wrinkle a little bit sometimes on metal if you don't have it hemmed. You hem it, it adds a little structural structuralness to the bend. So step flashing will work perfectly. We'll bend a little piece of flashing, go over the top of it, and then you'll just see a nice crisp black line up through there. Got the Atlas Pinnacle Pristine Shingles Architectural Series, but I'm ready to install my little piece of flashing for the sidewall. If I can do it one-handed or not. There we go. And now it slips right into that joint. We'll stick a few trim nails in there and it will be watertight. Look, you see that guy? There's Couscous. I know it. So we just about got it whooped. We should get it in the morning, get some flashing up the top, finish our little flashing up the side, and then on that side of the building we do have to do our step flashing, and then we'll finish this edge right here. So we had to make a piece of transition metal that goes from the shingles up the wall. We had to cut a new groove into the masonry to allow for that little lip. That's about your only option when you get into a masonry wall that not pre-flashed. You just cut a groove, make a bend, put it in there, and then we'll put a little Lexel. I think I got some Lexel. We'll use some Lexel and put a nice bead on top of it right before we get it all, after we get it all fastened in there. So here is our kerf. I just took the diamond wheel on the grinder, 4-inch diamond wheel, 4.5 inch, and cut a line about 3/4 to 7/8 inches deep. That way it will accept the bend of my metal. But as you can see, let me show you what you got to deal with when you remodel. You know what I mean? Look at this cut. Look at the flashing cut that they had up here before. Look at it. Oh me, I think Stevie Wonder chalked the line and Ronnie Millsap cut it. I mean, it is horrible. That is bad. That is, I mean, that is, I don't get it sometimes. People not have a chalk line, you know what I mean? It's simple. Chalk a line, cut it, and you're good to go. I don't understand. All right, so I continued my little counter flashing, put some Lexel behind all that before I put it in there. So that's sealed, that corner sealed. So now I'll put a little Lexel in behind here when I put this on top, because my cut doesn't make it all the way. So I'll try to seal that up, and then of course we'll put it into that groove. I put a bead of Lexel in behind there, so once we put it on there, it'll squeeze out of there. Ah, hold on. Ha! Can't do it. Oh, we get it. Oh, yeah. Beautiful. I'm not a fan of the wrinkling, but it happens with metal and it really shows on black metal, so we're doing our best to try to keep it from wrinkling, but it just don't happen sometimes. Just use a few trim nails if you want to. They hold up pretty well. Got a little corrugation on them. Aluminum, they're not going to rust. I think I got some black OSI, and I'll come back on the top of that, just kind of seal up that gap. So we have to, I was going to put soffit up there, and it just didn't really look really good. So talked with the owner, and we're gonna paint something. We're just gonna put something on there and paint it. I got the LP Smart Side board, outside Wonder board, whatever it's called, I don't know exactly, but it's LP product. And then once we put it in, then he'll have the painter come by and paint it. They're gonna paint it black. That way it just it'll look a little better with the color scheme, with the whitewash on the stone on front. There it is. Looking good. Pretty tickled with it. The only thing I'm really not tickled with is some of the soffit work up against the building. We are on a budget. A lot of times I work for people, we're not on budgets, but there's got to be a stopping point. He just bought this as, you know, a satellite kind of office, and he didn't want to put a ton of money into it. I mean, we definitely did put some money in it, but I mean, this is kind of like a can of worms job. To really make it right, I mean, we could have tore stuff out for 2 or 3 days and then put it all back, so there's really no sense in that. I mean, it's got a little whoop-de-doo, but it is what it is. Sometimes you kind of have a stopping point, you know what I mean? So I got the lighted sign up there. We put a couple can lights in there. The electrician ran a conduit for a lantern type, and then on the stone they are going to whitewash the stone and then paint everything that's brown on the wall right there. They're gonna paint it black, the window, everything black, just to kind of give it a little more modern look. And this is that LP, and that will be painted black as well. We got our flashing all trimmed out, so once the painter gets here, I'll try to come back down and do a final walk over on the building. But man, it looks really good. Lydia did a really good job on the design, and man, it looks just like, it looks exactly like the picture. Let me go get the paper. Oh yeah, check it out. Looks exactly like it. And it turned out awesome. Very good. I got the designer here. I wanted y'all to meet her. Who's this guy?
I didn't know if I needed to bother y'all. High-tech stuff.
All right, y'all. So I have got the designer here.
Hey.
This is my daughter, Lydia Dykes. She's going to school
As an interior architect.
an interior architect at ETSU. So we both know the owner here, which is Vick. He was her volleyball coach in high school, and like I said, this is just a satellite little office that he wanted open. He wanted to spruce it up, give it a little facelift. Lydia was able to design it for him. They loved it, so we were able to put together. So that was very cool for me to be able to put something together that she has designed. They had a grand opening a while back, and she was not able to make it. She was in school, but since they got it, what do you think about it?
I think it turned out exactly how I wanted it to.
Awesome. What do you think would be the hardest thing that we did right here?
Probably just redoing the whole.
There was one thing that I had never done. It was put wood. We put wood onto the roof. So I have never ever done that, and but it's been how many months? It's probably been what?
Like February.
Yeah, so what, 8 months it's been up there. Not had a leak, so that's good. Awesome. Still looks great. Kind of cool today. Everything looks good though, but check this out. I'll turn it around. So everybody else down this whole thing, they liked it. They liked it so much they went ahead and kind of copycatted, which which is kind of bummer. I mean, it's a good homage to Lydia, but Steven not so much. He wanted to stand out, and now it really kind of doesn't stand out because everybody kind of followed suit.
But it looks better. Overall, the whole strip looks better.
It does, very, very much so. You done good, you. So you inspired the design for this whole block. So that's good. All right, y'all. So that's it. I just want y'all to meet my daughter, Lydia. Amazingly smart, beautiful lady.
Nice to meet you guys.
All right, so I'll go home and do my outro, and we'll get this video finished. All right, y'all. That's it. That was my video on this quick little job, the facelift here for Stephen Vick at Vick Insurance. And man, I'm just proud dad moment, you know, being able to work with Lydia, and she did a really good job. I'm really proud of her, man. Once again, I'm W.K.D. Dykes. This was the quick facelift video at Vick Insurance. Thanks for watching, and as always, got it, coach. You guys have a great day.